Hey guys, I'm Kevin Zellman and welcome to this week's American Idol recap on Q Hollywood for Get Real LOL. This is a place where you can get your pop culture fix 24/7. So make sure you guys are following us on Facebook and on Twitter. So I've been teasing this for the last few weeks. I'm really excited about it. But we have an Idol winner on the show this week. Season 14 winner Nick Fradiani will be joining me in just a few minutes. But we're going to get to season 15 first. So this was the last week of Idol auditions ever. I like that they've made the audition seem more of like a documentary this season. We're able to hear a lot from Harry Connick Jr., Keith Urban, and Jennifer Lopez, who I'm sure you guys know are your judges for the season, about their thoughts on the season and about how they feel about the show ending. Cue the tears. So starting out the final week of auditions was a singer who goes by Poe. She's only 17 and she sang an Annie Lennox song. So her sister, she actually made it to top 24 last season. It was Shy Scott, who I actually really enjoyed last season. But Poe, she has such a unique voice and has an incredible rasp. There's so much that she's able to do with her voice, so song choice is going to be crucial for her. She can't show off too much of her voice. She has to be very subtle with the vocal gymnastics. Bianca Espinal performed with her father in the audition room, and she not only has an absolutely insane voice, but her whole look is incredible. She's so pretty, she has such a great smile, she has such a great look to her, that if she makes it far in the competition, she's going to be one of those contestants that all the young girls flock to. She will be extremely marketable if she continues on in the competition, and even if she wins it, she is very marketable. Very excited to see her journey on the show and what they're going to do with her and what song she's going to choose to sing. China Sherrod is only 16 and she did an Ariana Grande song, which is hard to do for an audition, but she opened her mouth and I was not prepared for what was coming out of it. She has such a fun personality. She's going to be one of the contestants that's going to be joking around with the judges for sure. She rearranged Ariana's song, which makes me believe, and makes all of you believe as well, that she really knows music and she definitely is going to have that David Cook, Billie Jean moment in her journey on Idol. So here's what I want from her. I want her to sing a Beyonce song. Maybe 1+1, which actually Bey sang on the season 9 finale. Or Best Thing I Never Had, and I want to hear that Beyonce growl come out of China. I'm going to talk about Beyonce songs later on, but I think she could pull it off. Zach Person has been playing guitar since he was 9 years old, and he is now 18 and can play the guitar like John Mayer. I was unbelievably impressed. Then he started singing, and I was even more impressed with him, and he is definitely a natural born musician. He's very fun to watch and a great performer. I'm very curious to see how he does during Hollywood week, because I don't know if he's going to be able to rely on his guitar so much on that round of the competition. So it'll be very interesting to watch him. You guys should keep an eye out for him for sure. Avalon Young came into the audition room, and she revealed that she was going to be singing XO by Beyonce. So this is where I'm talking about Beyonce here. This already had me worried because, and if anyone either sings Queen Bey, Mariah Carey, or Adele, it's 99.9% of the time that it's going to be a death sentence for the contestant because they try to hit all the same notes that all the original artists do. But she rearranged XO to make it her own, and the judges absolutely loved it, and they're sending her off to Hollywood. I think Avalon is unbelievably talented, and she has a very laid-back personality. I just hope that she actually does have a competitive side to her so she is able to make it far in the competition. The last audition of American Idol ever was Manny Torres, and he took on a Maroon 5 song. And he is hands down one of my favorites so far that we have seen and that I've talked about on Idol Recap. His voice is set for a certain genre, and he completely owns that. And he can do a lot with his voice each week to make it seem like he isn't going to be doing the same thing over and over, if that makes sense. I want to hear him, you guys listen to this, tell me if you agree with me. I want to hear him sing Rude by Magic. I think it would totally fit him. I think that that song really suit his voice well. So now we have the winner of American Idol Season 14, Nick Fradiani, with us via Skype. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to see you again. It's been a while since I saw you back on tour, actually.
I think that's right. When we were in LA, we did it was like one of the last shows I think you were at.
Yeah, I was with you and the Five, and we were discussing who was the messiest, and Jackson and Ray Vaughn were getting heated. It was hysterical.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. I remember that.
Yeah, I think that was one of my all-time favorite interviews I've ever done. Like, not just with you guys in general. It was so much fun with you guys.
Yeah, that was a blast.
So I wanted to know, I saw you quickly after you won Idol. I saw you really quick afterwards. What was the moment where, like, it settled in for you, that you realized you won Idol and it's now become, like, a normal thing? Like, oh, yeah, I won American Idol now.
It kind of took a while. I'd say around the tour, you know, about probably about a month or so after, where you're kind of like, all right, this is it. You know, once you're on tour and you're the last one to go up on stage every night, you kind of sinks in there. And now the last couple months, I mean, you forget about it again, because now I'm just so totally entrenched in, like, writing and record. Well, the writing's done, but recording this record. Now I almost feel like back to square one in terms of, like, all right, now I need to put out the best possible music. And then, but, you know, it was cool when I went back. I did the TCAs a couple days ago, and you see all the past winners, and you're like, oh wow, I'm one of, you know, 14 of these winners. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, what's it like? 'Cause, I mean, being on American Idol, that's a very, like, exclusive family in general, and then being the winner of American Idol, that's, like, an even more exclusive family. So what's it like when you're backstage with all of the idols? What's the camaraderie like with you guys?
It's pretty cool, you know. Everybody was, you know, I had met a bunch of people for the first time. Like, I had never met Chris Allen before. I had seen when Sparks was there, and I actually hung with Jordan and a few friends while I was on the show, like me, Rayvon, and who else was there? Quentin. We all went out and hung with her one night, and she was a great help while I was on the show, kind of talking to us about, you know, what to expect during and after, you know, if you do win or go far. So, but everybody's been really nice. I haven't met one person off Vital where I was like, I don't want to, you know, see them again. Everybody's kind of just, you know, we've all been through the same type of thing, you know. It's pretty, you know, you grow a close bond like I did with the top 5 and even really the top 24. Everybody, you know, you go through something and it's something you'll never kind of forget. So, but all the past I've met have been really cool.
And you mentioned a little bit about it before, and I have a lot of questions about your album. Is there a release date that you have, or that you can? Has it been released at all of when we can hear new music from you? Is what I want to know.
Well, Scott Borchetta, who's the head of Big Machine and was the mentor that last year and will be again this year. Mm-hmm. At the TCAs, he gave a kind of a idea of when it will be. So do you understand, like, first quarter, second quarter, all that stuff when it comes to music? So I don't know if the audience will, but so the single will be released in first quarter, which first quarter starts in January. So, and that could go, my guess is that it's going to be end of February, early March for the single, and he said early second quarter for the album. So my hope would be that it would be around the finale of this season, or very close to that, you know, afterwards. So it's going to be all out pretty soon. I mean, I know it feels like a long time because, you know, you went in May, but the good thing is they let me write on the entire album, so I'm a co-writer on every single track. And it took a little while in terms of, like, finding the sound I wanted to go to. I think I wrote 60 songs, and, you know, I needed to make sure that it was the right album for me, and luckily Scott agreed that was the way to approach. Is that, yeah, it would be nice to capitalize on, you know, when Idol right away, but, you know, it's going to come down, you know, if we put out an album 2 months after and it was, you know, crappy, it wouldn't do anything, you know what I mean? So we got to get the best possible album here, and that's what we did. So I'm just looking forward to having everybody hear it. That's all I want. I just want to get it out there, you know, besides showing my family and friends.
Yeah, well, you told me a little bit before that you've worked with some pretty big people on the album. Can you tell the viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people will know certain writers, but a lot of the writers I worked with have had great success in the past. I wrote one song with Jason Mraz, who everyone will know, and me, him, and actually my guitar player Nick, who I was in a band with prior to the show, wrote it along with 2 other writers, and it came out great. I wrote with, I don't know, just a bunch of really talented writers.
And the promotion for the album, it's not the normal promotion that most people do for an album. You kind of have, it's kind of like a docu-series almost on the whole process of the album. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I've been trying, you know, my album was you could pre-order it through Pledge. So, you know, we were trying to kind of keep some of the pledgers in the loop of how the whole album was being made and stuff. And I'm going to definitely document a lot of that this month when I'm cutting kind of the final parts of the record. But yeah, it was a crazy process because, you know, some of these bands take a year to 2 years or, you know, solo artists to make a record, and I kind of had to do it really fast while touring for 2 months and while promoting the original single that I had from the show, which was Beautiful Life. So really it was like since about September I've been working on the record, and that's not really a long time, but we grinded it out, and I'm excited about it.
And we saw on Twitter a few months ago your rap skills.
And them haters can't get past that. Watch me as I gas that 4.6 range. Watch a candy paint change every time I switch lanes.
Could we see that on your album?
That's right, yeah. Well, I think people are going to be surprised. You know, when I was on Idol, it's kind of hard, again, like when I was saying, trying to find my sound. I mean, I could kind of do a bunch of different things musically. I kind of kept it, you know, a little more rock on the show. I played the guitar a lot, and you know, my song choices were, you know, were falling more towards that, or you know, what Scott and the producers thought would be my best, you know, performances, you know. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like all different types of music. I mean, I'm a huge Timberlake fan, and I'm a huge, you know, Goo Goo Dolls and Matchbox 20, and you know, I'm kind of all over the place with the type of music I like. Like my favorite album right now is Bieber's new album. I think it's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
So it's so good. But anyways, we you know, I wanted to, you know, I think it's going to be a surprising album to some. There's some songs that kind of stay true to sort of what I was doing on Idol, but there's a lot of things you're going to be like, well, that's Nick singing? It doesn't sound like him that much. You know what I mean? I worked on my vocals like insane in the last like 4 months, and, you know, we wrote a lot of cool songs that, you know, I used my falsetto a lot that I didn't use a lot on the show. So I think it's gonna be interesting for people to hear it, because it's totally top 40. Like, it's ready to go. You know, our goal was to get top 40 radio, you know, involved, and that's kind of where the whole album ended up going. So I'm excited about it. Everybody that's heard it, you know, I guess they're not gonna tell me it sucks, but they all like it, and I can't wait. I'm totally pumped.
And how far along are you with the album? Is it ready to go, or still picking songs?
Yeah, so it's in like, well. So we're gonna cut. When they say cut, like, we're gonna fully record about 15 or 16 songs. I have a lot more than that, but and then we'll cut that down to what the final track number of the album, which we're not sure if it's gonna be 12 or 13 or less. So right now those are all done. Like I told you, I need to recut vocals on a few things, and then it's gonna go into mix, which is you send it off to some of these incredible mixers. They'll do that. Then it goes into mastering it, and then it's done. So those parts of it don't take that long. What I already did is kind of what takes the longest time. So now it's kind of just the people above me to make their choices on the songs, and then we'll let it roll.
That is so exciting. And you made a big move to Nashville, correct?
Yeah. About when I moved in November, middle of November or something like that. I haven't been there that much, though. I've been kind of traveling a lot. I went home for the holidays for like 2 weeks, which was great. And like now I'm in LA for another, you know, for about a month. So I feel like I haven't been there much, but my time there has been great. I wrote a bunch with some great people. I was down there, and I'm kind of getting settled in there. So it's been cool.
And then do you plan on touring when you release the album?
I mean, that's not up to me. I mean, I would love to tour. My guess would be, you know, I know we were looking at possible opening acts for some bigger artists. I think that would be the best thing for me. Mm-hmm. You know, when releasing new music, would be to try to reach a new audience. So I think, you know, all of that kind of depends on how the single does. You know, say the single comes out and it catches fire and does great. Well, the opportunity to tour would probably be much greater. You know, if it doesn't do great, then, you know, we'll have to, you know, wait out and put another single out, you know, like around when the album comes out, and then hope that one takes off. So the whole touring thing is kind of, you know, it kind of depends on how the album does. So
right, depends on
hopefully
a lot of
it does good, and then you'll be seeing. Exactly.
I want to talk about the show a little bit, American Idol.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the entire journey on the show?
It's funny coming back to LA. I mean, I was just in LA in October, but I guess because it was like bringing back a bunch of memories, because I'm staying on the same street that I stayed when we were in the top 12. We stayed at the Sunset Marquee, and you know, it was the best couple months of my life, honestly. Besides winning, you know, even if I didn't win, it was still, the experience of it was so awesome. The people that work on the show were so cool and nice to me, and just helpful, and it was almost like, you know, you're in college. I don't know, it reminded me of like my senior year in college or something. Like, you're in this like bubble with all these different types of people, and you know, but you're all kind of going through the same thing. And I made so many like good friends from the whole situation, and I'm just happy they're kind of letting me, you know, continue to be a part of it, even though I just won. I'm still going to be able to be a big part of this final season.
Yeah,
and,
you were telling me you got to mentor some of the contestants.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back as a mentor, which is pretty crazy because like I was just doing the mentor sessions. I'm gonna be like waiting for the real mentor to come in.
What round of the competition can we see you there?
I'll wait for that. I think it's gonna be fun.
What round of the competition will be able to see you?
I don't know exactly when it's gonna be a pre-taped thing, I believe. I don't have like all the details besides I just know I'm doing it. So I'm not sure exactly when that will be. But I believe it's before the voting rounds. I believe it's going to happen before it goes to America's Vote. But again, I'm not 100% positive. But that's kind of what I heard.
We know that Kelly Clarkson's she's coming back for the first live show of the season.
Right.
Do you know if all the other idols are going to come back and do the same thing she's doing, or is it like a select few that are going to be doing that?
Yeah, I don't know in terms of I truly don't know in terms of if every winner is gonna come every week. I don't think so. But again, I don't know for sure.
Yeah. And what was the whole tour experience for you beyond the Idols tour?
That was honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little like worried about the tour in terms of like, you just don't. To me, I just kind of wanted to get moving on the album, and I was stressed about that. And I was like, now I gotta, I don't know if that's what I want to do right now. I'm going to be performing the same songs I did on the show, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got there and I was able to play a lot of original music and I got to do some songs that I didn't do on the show, and the band was, like, incredible. And I think even the five of us grew, like, closer throughout the tour. And it was truly, like, the best 2 months I think I've had in I don't know how long. It was so much fun. I would have stayed out another few more months. I think some people like the life on the road. Some people don't. I loved it. I had a blast just seeing different places, playing to different people. And, you'd think, I only played about 6 songs per night. But, like, the band was so good and the energy from the crowd was so fun that I never got bored. Every single time I loved it. And I wish I could do it again. So that's why I'm hoping the album does great. I can get back on the road because it's a blast.
Absolutely. Well, I cannot wait to hear the album, Nick. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, when it comes out, we'll have to do this again. We could do a track-by-track breakdown.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, my God, yes. Everyone would love that.
Yeah, we'll totally do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem, buddy.
He's so awesome. We're definitely going to have him back on the show once his album is released, and he's going to break down the album for all of us, because I even want to know about all of that. So next week is the beginning of the grueling Hollywood week. The judges have sent through 190 singers, but only one of them is going to be crowned the last American Idol. Make sure to come back next week so we can talk about Hollywood Week and all of the drama that goes along with it. And who knows? Maybe we're going to have another special guest on the show next week. You never know who might be stopping by Idol Recap, We had Nick Fradiani this week. So until next week's show, tweet along with me using #IdolRecap to be a part of the conversation. See you guys next week.